trip levy. Everything is there. Our FAQs are being updated, I'd say every 48 to 72 hours, because as the questions come through, we update our website so that everyone has access to the same information.
Can you talk to the TSC and explain to them what your role is within your organisation? To this point in time, you've been really clear and concise and left not much to interpretation. But if you explain to the TSC what you do and how you do it, they might be able to employ somebody with some level of competence in their organisation.
Yeah.
Thanks for that. Okay. We've also got on our website a translation service. So for languages other than English, we have different numbers that you can call in different languages. So please do access that if that is a requirement. We've got instruction guides on how to lodge returns. Now we currently have a recorded video on the registration process that's been up now for about a month. I'm developing a recorded video again on the quarterly return process. So once that goes live, we'll get that up and a recording of what you're seeing today. We've also got a subscriber service. So if you go to sro.vic.gov.au/subscribe, anytime that we update our website with any commercial passenger vehicle service levy information, you will receive an email telling you about that update.
Can the tax service commission do that?
No, they can't. They haven't been able to do it.
Can you arrange that to happen when there's changes being made?
Yeah, because you're too busy not listening and doing
Just as a final as well, this is in development at the moment. I hope to have it up in the next 2 weeks. When you go to /trip levy, there'll be a big button that says, do I have to register? When you click on that, you can answer a series of yes/no questions, and it will actually give you a decision about whether or not, based on the answers that you've provided, you need to register for the levy in Victoria. So we call that a decision-making tool. We will have more of those tools coming up. They're very complicated to build, as you can imagine, with all the different scenarios, but that is coming and will be of assistance to you.
On that,
Thank you. Lisa.
one quick one.
No, hang on. Lisa.
Yeah, my question was originally that some of the service providers are actually collecting that $1.10 on behalf of the drivers, but they're also charging an extra 2.5% for employing a third party to gather all the data and all the credit card details and basically top up accounts.
It's still the top taxes. They're charging them to do the process.
Our involvement in that, and that has nothing to do with the levy itself. So whether a fee is being charged on top of it.
What if every driver says, I want to pay it myself manually? We don't have that choice. Drivers, that power's been taken away from them by the booking service provider, and they've basically taken over the system.
Because what it comes down to,
money from that
yeah, because what it does come down to with the levy, and who is the levyable party under the Act, is who does the booking. So yes.
Also,
Hang on, one at a time. Peter was waiting for you. Come back to you.
My BSPs are in the UK and the US. Are they required to register?
I believe that they are required to register. Their geographical location is relevant.
And if they don't, do they have jurisdiction penalising?
Oh, that's a good question. I don't know.
Well, on a similar one, New South Wales, or close, I have 3 cars in Albury. They do some jobs out of Victoria.
Yeah.
Are you allowed to come and check on my books in the New South Wales? I don't care if you do or not.
Mate, 2 sets of books.
Does the jurisdiction exist for you to come police an Albury taxi that does work out of Victoria?
We'll see if we can get this thing, get a relief focus.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Around both of those.
Just the
Hang on. Sorry.
I was just thinking about the question before, where you've got a large service provider, charging
More on silver top taxis.
a fee for maintaining, for collecting this information. So,
That's an added cost which you should pass on to the customer.
Sorry?
That's an added cost that should go on to the customer.
Hang on that question, I was told, silver top taxis, that we don't have, me as an owner, I don't have to register. Silver top is doing it on our behalf. So silver top will, from Monday, I've got an email here, they all got to register with silver top, and they will be responsible for collecting the dollar levy. Does that mean I don't have to register with?
So they pay both the services and
Yes.
But you will,
So Silver Top will be registered as a booking service provider and as that third option, which is the affiliation arrangement.
So that means they have to.
You don't have to register.
There's no,
Sorry,
One
what if
at a
I've
time,
got,
one at a time.
what if I've got a few cars, I've still got a few cars of 1 3 cab?
Yeah.
That means I've got to still register because of the 1 3 cab.
But if the bookings through 1 3 cabs are coming through them as the booking
And
service
after that, that's my
provider,
drivers who can pick up off the rank.
yeah, it's that first point of origin of the booking, who to route.
Yeah, Ryan, a question.
Can I just quickly, at the risk of getting my head cut off, I do work for Silvertop, so if you do have any questions afterwards, I'm happy to try my best to answer them. So I'm not here to hide. Just to clarify, the 2.5% isn't to pay a third company. The 2.5% is to do two things. The first thing is to cover the credit card fee, which Silvertop's been charged by the credit card companies.
So that's bullshit, you're not charged 2.5%.
It comes to, sorry, let me finish, that comes to 2% or 1.9%.
Correct.
The rest of it's to help offset the cost, which is involved for us to help manage it.
why can't they have an opt-out option? Why is it compulsory?
The opt-out option, that is to refer people to the first rule, like that, please don't shoot the messenger. The opt-out option would be not to sign up and to go to a different service
And
provider.
in New South Wales, I've been doing this since the start of February. The paperwork is enormous. Pay the 0.5%. I'll tell you now, it's huge paperwork. I spend 2 hours a week just on the
What you're
levy.
saying is
2 hours a week.
If you don't.
The amount of work involved in setting up and doing all this, I understand from these guys' point of view, it's really quite easy to say, they're going to do this, they're going to do this, but we've had to employ two new people. It's not covered by anyone. I'm sure the State Revenue Office is
The
collecting this
government's
money.
creating a pipeline for you, whether you're going to profit from. And I think the TSC should.
So this is what I'm trying to say, they're not profiting from it. Silvertop Network is not
All right,
profiting from its
enough.
cost.
Quick,
of living.
One more, please.
Last one.
If a driver doesn't register, so he's driving my taxi and he just says, I'm not registering, how does that get followed up? Because I know I'm going to talk to my drivers about it and they're going to say, I'm not doing this. I just need something to go back to them and say, well, this is the repercussion if you don't register.
I mean, obviously, if you're speaking to them, backing it up, forwarding them a link to our Trip Levy website, is evidence that you.
Oh, no, that's fine, but what's it?
There are compliance programs that run across, so we have a whole area that's given to compliance investigations. So, sometimes we're looking at trip levy, but we'll look at everything that we can do. So, and there are, we have access to data that they can use to determine what's happening. So, there will be compliance programs.
Okay.
So that would be probably enough.
So there will be compliance. You will find them no matter what.
There has to be compliance to make sure.
As long as I tell them you'll find them no matter what. Yeah, that's what I'm going to have to say.
Yeah.
All right.
Can I ask one question of the SRO before they go?
Quickly, George.
Okay. What discretion will you use on your punishment techniques? Because I run a business and I handle a number of bookings every month. By my definitions or by your definitions, I'm a service provider. But the TSC has put out communication. They've said, to my understanding, we will notify you if you're defined as a booking service provider. So far, they haven't notified me that they deem me a booking service provider. By all your definitions, I am.
So with the levy.
I'm not talking to you, I'm talking to them. You had a good go? Thanks very much.
The levy is.
So I now have to communicate to my thousands of customers that as of 3 days from now, that I have to start collecting $1 levy, which I'm liable to you for, but I'm still waiting for the TSC to define me as a service provider. So my question to you is, how lenient are you going to be? Because it'll take me 3 months to implement this.
Okay, so obviously, if you realise that you've made a mistake.
No, I haven't made any mistakes. I haven't made any mistakes at all, I'm sorry. The TSC knows who I am. I run a 40-car fleet. I handle thousands of bookings a month. They have put out that they will communicate to us if they deem us a service provider. They haven't communicated that to me at all. I've looked at their list and every taxi service provider and everyone else is on there. I haven't been. Now I'm told that in 3 days' time I have to comply with the SRO and I have to forward to you $15,000 in 3 months, because that's how many bookings I'll handle in 3 months. But I haven't notified my customers. So my question to you is, how lenient are you going to be with people like in the industry who have been caught up by miscommunication on behalf of the TSC?
difficult one.
And this is not the first time that the TSC has put in a little
This was something
bomb
that
up
we
our
really wanted
house.
to clear up today because it was becoming apparent that there was confusion. There's always been, like, the statements that we've made today are not statements that have just come out today. They've
I understand that.
been us for a very long time, but because there's been confusion about regulations and whether or not booking service providers need to be registered or not, our very firm position, and I clarified this yesterday, is that just because you're not registered doesn't make you excluded from the levy. It's not.
So being a BSB is not a requirement.
No, it's not a requirement of the Act. So there wouldn't, I don't want to say there wouldn't be any leniency, but the fact is that that position has not changed and has been clear. What has been unfortunate is that there is confusion, and all we can try and do is try and get through that confusion and tell you exactly how it is.
We should have known about this a lot longer than 5 days before the event.
So we
Like,
had-
we might have to organise today.
If the SRO has an expectation to
We're
collect
becoming
the,
tax collectors for you guys.
if the SRO has an expectation to collect the levy in 3 days' time, or be due a levy in 3 days' time, they should be notifying the industry 6 months ago, so we could make the appropriate adjustments to our computer booking systems and get our shit together and communicate to our thousands of customers as to what is pending in 3 months' time, or in a month's time, or in a week's time. I
Okay.
can't exactly do it post-event.
100% right, there's no doubt if buts or maybes, that's exactly the way it should have been. The TSC has failed to give out the information.
As has the SRO.
And in fairness to the TSC, not that I like to give them anything at all, but Transport for Victoria is also a massive problem, right? And they're the ones that provide advising the minister. Things that I know today, there are things they are deciding on, which are supposed to be coming in on July 1, and they don't know. They simply don't know.
Yeah, that's right.
Right, so
They wouldn't know if you're
it's
up.
not the SRO's fault. They're merely here to do the job. Don't shoot the messenger.
Thanks.
Thank you very much.